Hey there, YouTube. Yeah, we're back. I know you haven't seen much of me the last couple weeks, my 114 subscribers. You haven't seen a lot of me the last couple weeks. I've been busy with real life stuff. Been pretty down in the dumps. So, but we're back at it. Big Saturday stream. We're kicking it off with some union news. And first thing I wanted to show right off the bat, most important stat, most important number. We got this Gallup poll here, not a CNN poll. It would look a lot different if this was a CNN poll. Let's be real. It'd look a whole lot different if it was a fucking CNN poll, because it would be like, unions are the cancer of the earth. Like fucking old people watch CNN. It's really weird, and the conservatives that hate watch CNN are fascinating as well. But 75% support for the United Auto Workers. You gotta love it. You love to see it. I love to see it. So this is one of the most positive, progressive things happening in America right now, is the union movement. To see the pushback, to see, because it's valuing your labor is not a communist idea. Okay. Understanding that your labor has value is not communist, right? Right wing and left wing bad actors that are trying to, the neoliberals are now Reagan, basically. They're Republicans from the fucking 1970s, basically. And they use the communist talking point as well. Go on MSNBC Twitter, right? Go on the West Wing motherfuckers on Twitter, the proud neoliberals on Twitter, and they'll say shit like that. But this is incredibly encouraging, and I just wanted to point this out, cement this in your head. People want unions. So when you hear these unbelievably, obscenely wealthy motherfuckers being like, oh, pulling out their pockets, right? Oh, we're broke. We're broke, guys. And being like, oh, this is going to wreck these industries. This is going to wreck that. Not only are they lying, but people want this. People want this shit. Okay? Don't believe the gaslighting for a second. Profits have never been higher. And look, they're mentally ill. They truly believe at their core in a system of infinite growth. They are not satisfied with decent earnings. They are only satisfied with incredible earnings. They're happy to shut down the entire company if it means that if they can cement earnings that they know that they're not going to get later. Folks, these people are mentally ill and they're steering the ship. Don't let them gaslight you into thinking that you're somehow the problem by asking for more. Okay? They will lie to you. They will lie to you. You know what I mean? I mean, they will gladly lie to you and sleep like a baby. Like, you have a conscience, right? You're over here watching. Well, I have a conscience. I don't know if I could do that. No. Take yourself out of the situation. Yeah, no, you have a conscience. They don't. They think it's fucking funny. Okay? No, you can't. You're a sweetheart. You couldn't do it. So we're gonna keep that tab open while I'm talking about this other stuff, just in case we get any motherfuckers in the chat that need a reminder. People want this shit. They want it today. They want unions today. They understand the value of unions. So when the unions are gonna, hurt their bottom line, and they're like, oh, help us, they're hurting us. The union's coming after us, help, the union, When they're doing that, know that they're pretending. They're acting. So here we have multi-millionaire, incredibly successful actress, Drew Barrymore, justifying why she's going against the writer's strike, hiring a bunch of scabs to write her terrible fucking morning show. We're not going to watch a second of this. 4 fucking minutes of this woe is me nonsense in her motherfucking palatial residence. I don't know, who knows where she's at. It's palatial. Motherfucking, when's the last time you walked into a place with motherfucking wallpaper on the ceiling? Look at this shit. So cry me a motherfucking river, scab. Okay, hope you learned your lesson. And this is funny over here. Rape apologist. It's okay to rape people, I guess, if you're my friend. Sorry you're mad at us. Apology. That's what this apology was. I'm sorry you're offended. Yeah, I'm sorry people like you are successful. So that's all I got to say. And, you know, streamers will fucking 45 minutes of this shit, hour and a half of this shit, make the whole fucking stream this shit. So go ahead, if you want more information about this motherfucking bullshit, literally tune into any other fucking stream. We're going to do real news. And unfortunately, this is real news because what is this? This is what happens when you get rich and you don't have to pay attention. You literally stop seeing the suffering around you, you know? And look, you know, I'm not saying these people don't have a conscience, okay? But at the end of the day, it's about what you really stand for. Oh, you know, I was part of an organization helping, children who are trafficked, and that's a really important thing. And, you know, congratulations. Thank you, Ashton Kutcher. And she's Ukrainian. She supports Ukraine. She's talked to Zelensky and all that. So thank you for that, Mila Kunis. But pull your head out of your ass, okay? The haters might have a point here, okay? And doubling down isn't the solution. It's called humility. And you can't just because, oh, it's money. Oh, that's more important than anything. No, it isn't. And the only way you can really understand that is if you don't have it. Because when you have it and you need to keep it, because look at where they're motherfucking living. Because when you have it and you need to keep it, you're desperate. And it becomes the most important thing in your life. And that means you're mentally motherfucking ill. Right? Because you're being controlled by the motherfucking dollar. You're being controlled by the money. They got you. Who's they? The oligarchy, the empire. They got you. So pull your head out of your ass. There's plenty of celebrities that have shown that they can look past the fog of incredible wealth to see the real world beyond. That's all I had to say about these motherfucking pathetic motherfuckers. So we're going on here, moving on. Christian Smalls, ya boy. Gotta say, he's flirting a little too close to celebrity. He's really enjoying the celebrity. But you know what? Keep this up. He's keeping it real. He's over here hanging out with the Assange family, Julian Assange. Showing solidarity, showing props. You know, and look, people like the flashiness, okay? And I've never had a problem with the flashiness. It's about keeping it real, though. It's like, okay, you got a little money, you got a little success, okay. But you got to keep it real. You got to stay on your toes. You got to stay up on this shit. You can't allow yourself to just start slipping like those other motherfuckers we were just talking about. Christian Smalls. All right, I love what you're doing. I think people are down with it, right? But like I said before, Christian, they're going to try to use your celebrity. They're going to try to use your vanity against you. They're going to try to destroy you. And they're looking for you to slip up at any motherfucking chance. And I'm not just talking about the right. Oh, Joe Biden over here. I love unions. Yeah, where's the policies? You haven't passed shit for unions. All you've done is leached off the goodwill of unions. No, there has been some policy, but there needs to be a lot more, and there could be a lot more. Christian Smalls is the leader of the Amazon Labor Union. Sorry, I just assumed people are as obsessed with politics as I am, but that's what his shirt here, Amazon Labor Union. He kind of lit a match and showed that the common man does have value, that his labor is incredibly important to the empire, to the oligarchy. He's had a lot of successes, and I hope for a lot more. He's a great example of exactly what I'm talking about. He followed steps 1 through 3. He didn't even know he was doing it. He just said, you know what? We're doing this. I don't even care anymore. We're doing this. He didn't need anyone to tell him. He didn't need anyone to push him. He said, we're doing this. And he got it done. So he's exactly the kind of example that I'm talking about. But They're looking to destroy you, Christian. And you need to be very careful. All right? So keep it up, man. All you need to do is keep it real. Straight up. That's all you need to do to keep it grounded, is to keep it real. Stay humble. Right? Understand where you are. What you're doing. Because the money controls you. They use the money to control you, dude. The money is the tool used to control you. You know, your lifestyle gets to a certain level and you're like, I got to keep my lifestyle. And then the morals start bending. So I love you, Christian. So keep it up, keep it real, and watch your back. Watch your back. I love this guy, and I don't want to see him get, you know, and we're going to talk about it. Russell Brand is a great example of exactly what I'm talking about. You know, but it's not money that's his chain. It's his sexual proclivities that chained him. But they want to catch you slipping, right? They want to catch you slipping. And who's they? It's the oligarchy, the empire, the non-progressive elements of our society. And like, I say it like that because it's not just the hard right-winger capitalists. It's the extremely neoliberal capitalists, but also extremely neoliberal, not extremely neoliberal, I'm sorry, but extremely socialist left, who is actively trying to stymie any kind of progress because it's not the progress that they envision. Zero compromise. It's basically the people that are refusing the compromise, right? And of course, the analog on the right is the extreme MAGA right, the fascistic, neo-fascist MAGA right, whatever you want to call them. Here's some more video of Christian Smalls with the union who shut shit down, and now we're coming for Amazon together. Hot labor summer. That's what I'm talking about, folks. And that's exactly what I'm talking. Look at that, 37. Okay, it was like 37 likes because this was a fresh tweet. So we're up to 268. Come on, folks. Let's get this bumped up. Get your likes in. This is what it's about. This is exactly what I'm talking about. This is exactly what this is steps 1 through 3 right in front of us. This is exactly what I'm talking about. See, each one of these individuals, they're not changing. Each one of these people they're not changing everything, but they're part of something, right? You have to understand that. You have to become part of something. You're not an island. So where is he? France right now? Hell yeah, boy. That's what I'm talking about. Where the hell is this? They cut off the power during the strikes in Paris. Ah, they were trying to prosecute him. Yeah, so that was in France. I thought that's what they were speaking. So, I mean, once again, though, you know, if you're doing this, as long as you're going right back to America to join another strike in America, that's cool, right? But if you're like jet setting around the world, being like a celebrity in the, I don't know, I guess, you know what though? Celebrity is really powerful. And the activist movement needs likable celebrities, flashy celebrities that people like. The activist movement needs celebrities. He's not on Mastodon? Yeah, get your ass on Mastodon. I mean, people have already forgotten about Mastodon. Everyone, the entire fucking world is waiting on Blue Sky. And apparently it's not ready, so I can see why they haven't made it public. According to the people in our Discord that are using it, it's like, yeah, it's not really there yet, dude. And it's not just because of the lack of users. It's missing core functionality. But no, back to what I'm saying. The labor movement, the progressive left movement needs celebrities, right? People love celebrities. So I should be careful. I should be careful about criticizing a jet setter who's going around to different things. Like I said, though, as long as he's wearing the shirt, which is very important, right? And, you know, but I think, you know, as long as you're heading back to the U.S. to join another protest, you're keeping it real in the U.S., keeping it real and humble in terms of where you come from and why you're here and why you're important, and not forgetting that, then yeah, jet set around, be a progressive left union organizing celebrity. I think that's great. That's exactly what we need, dude. Like it or not, folks, is what we live in. Oh, I'm so tired of celebrity. I'm too fucking bad. Okay? They run the goddamn, you know, zeitgeist. One George Clooney, his voice is louder than 10 million people. Okay? And we're just going to ignore that power because we're, what, too good for it? I don't think so. I think the left should embrace celebrity when getting its message out there. You'll be one too? No. I keep it so goddamn real it hurts. I do need to improve the production of the show. And once the, you know, I'm working on it, but the problem is the kid, my job, real life, you know, it's been quite a challenge recently, dealing with everything. So, but I'm working on it. I want to do more. I really do. But yeah, I'm not going to be a celebrity because if I were to become a celebrity, that would mean the world is going in the right direction. Because that would mean people want to hear what I have to say. I know that's being egotistical, but you know, I truly believe if I were more willing to tell people what they want to hear, and I know what they want to hear, right? If I just picked a side and just told people what they want to hear, I'd be doing a lot better. No, I'm not being nihilistic. This isn't nihilism. This is just like understanding the reality of this content machine, you know? So like, I truly believe if I were more willing to tell people exactly what they want to hear, agree with the mainstream more, I would probably get more coverage. I also need to do more interviews with people, which is, you know, which means I need to email. I just need to reach out to people and say, hey, I exist, and do you want to talk to me? It's a whole thing. I hate doing it. Anyway, back to the subject, unions. I have one more video to show you, and then we're done with this segment here. Keeping it tight, 17, so it'll be about a 25-minute segment once we're done. No, 5 minutes, maybe less. Not bad. Trying to keep them tighter. So let's get back to it here. Strike looms as union workers and auto companies fail to reach a deal. So this is the UAW auto union news. Obviously, that's been like the top story. So I probably should have done it first, but you know, I don't know. I like to give a lot of context, a lot of nuance, a lot of extra information on top of things. And I wanted to have those comments about Christian Small. I wanted to repeat my comments about Christian Smalls because I feel like he's a target by the oligarchy. They want to destroy him, and they're waiting for that slip up. Hire someone to do it for you. Yeah, okay. You know, that's okay. I'll get right on it. Yeah, I'll get right on it, bud. I mean that would I'm laughing because it would cost me thousands of dollars a year. Maybe a certain goblin. Well, do you have, you know, shoot me a proposal, shoot me a DM. Tell me what you would like to do, how much you're willing to do, and what it would cost me per hour, right? Because I'm not a rip-off artist like some of these other guys. I want to, you know, pay people properly if they're going to work for me. All right, but let's get to it.
The clock now ticking toward what could be the...
Well, I got to comment on this fucking sound effect. They keep using it, man. I guess, do I need to do this? Do I need to have some motherfucking like...
The clock now ticking.
You know what I mean? Because you'll see, they'd use it as a transition in other segments, like bang, 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 like someone like banging on your fucking screen door. Should I have a sound effect like that when I'm transitioning stories? Just like...
The clock now ticking toward what could be the largest labor strike in 25 years, carrying with it a potential ripple effect on the entire economy. The United Auto Workers are set to walk out from the big three auto plants if a contract is not agreed to by midnight tonight. UAW President Shawn Fain says that they will continue to fight for a fair agreement.
Our goal is to reach a fair agreement. But if the companies continue to bargain in bad faith, or continue to stall, or continue to give us insulting offers, then our strike's going to continue to grow.
No, and they are insulting offers. They are, because they're like, okay, we want this percentage wage, we want to end tiers, you know, we want this, and they come back with, we'll give you extra 10 minutes in the bathroom. What'd you think about that? Could give you a couple extra fans in the break room, you know, circular fans, pick them up at Home Depot. Would that work? It is insulting.
We're going to hit where we need to hit, and when we need to hit, we're going to hit to move mountains.
Michigan-based Anderson Economic Group says that a UAW strike could cost car makers, suppliers, and workers more than $5 billion. Here are images of local Dearborn, Michigan union workers preparing right now picket signs in preparation for that strike if the deal isn't made. My co-anchor and ABC News senior national correspondent Terry Moran is there in Dearborn.
You see what I mean? Bang, bang. Like, whoa, so who's at the door, dude? What is it, the cops? The cops here? Hello, sir. Bang, bang. We heard you got drugs in there. Jesus fucking Christ, AB. This is ABC, dude. This is AB motherfucking C, man. Disney owns this company. They're like using psychological tricks to keep you watching or something. What is this sound effect?
With more. All right, Terry, give us a walk and talk.
All right, I'll do that for you. So obviously the clock is ticking, as you say. Midnight is the.
I wanted to point this out as well. These guys making signs. This is what I'm talking about. 1, 2, 3. I don't want to go canvas, right? I don't want to talk to people. Can you come in and make some signs for us? Oh, I could do that. See what I mean, folks? And like, and you're not solving the whole problem, right? But you're part of the solution, right? You need to accept that you're not going to be the guy at the very top, right? That you're going to be part of that strong base, that support. That's what we need. We need people that are like ready to work, ready to participate, that are not doing it for ego.
The deadline, as we just heard from UAW President Shawn Fain, it looks like the sides are far apart, and this is going to happen. So here's what's happening here at UAW Local 600. This is the union home to 10,000 auto workers who work for Ford Motor Company, building some of the great trucks that they make, that F-150 Lightning, not my Mustang, but saying we're cousins, I guess, here. And here's what they're doing. They're preparing. They have these buttons here, which I think are interesting. They say, I don't want to strike, but I will. And we hear that again and again. People are willing to take this serious.
No, but what he said was actually poignant. Let's go back.
They have these buttons here, which I think are interesting. They say, I don't want to strike, but I will.
Yeah.
And we hear that again.
You know what? I think that's a really great message. That is a really great message because, you know, these people, and that's the thing. It's just like, if you just treat us with a modicum of respect, you know, we'd let you make your billions and pretend like you're geniuses. If you just gave us a fucking slice of the pie that was equal to the you know, to inflation, right? If they kept it at like a 1% above inflation, if they could figure out the math to keep everything just above 1% inflation, most people would probably not bitch, because it'd be like, well, at least I'm not technically losing money. But every fucking year, Americans are basically getting pay decreases on their wages. They're making more money than ever, but they're not able to buy all the things that they used to be able to buy, and it's starting to really catch up. And if these fucking oligarchs would just give us a goddamn crumble, give us a fucking just a piece, we would leave them alone. And they don't. They're mentally ill. They're mentally ill. They won't stop until it's straight feudalism. You know, and then they'll be like, well, okay, now that they're all feudal serfs, let's start having the slavery conversation. But no, they won't stop. They are mentally ill, and you need to understand that, because it's like you're coming from a place of logic, you're coming from a place of empathy. You can't quite understand how savage they are. They're brutal. Okay? They hate your guts.
Again and again, people are willing to take this serious step, this step which will cause hardship in a lot of families because they think it's so important. And the main work, as you say, excuse me,
hey,
if I may, thank you. You'll see a lot of these, it sounds like, in the coming days, hopefully not too much longer, at the plants around Detroit, Dearborn, Warren, all throughout the Midwest. Thank you very much. Because, look, they're ready to go tonight. We've been to another local union where they were preparing the strike pantry, as they call it, to provide supplies for families who may need them during the course of a strike, hopefully not too long, as well as signing up for picket line duty. And I don't know what the situation here is, Dearborn, I can ask, but over in Warren, where we were, the local ordinance says you must keep walking when you picket. You can't stop. And no burn barrels. It was cool this morning, but you don't need the burn barrels yet. But so they're informing people.
So don't you love it? Don't you love it? All these draconian laws that force you to, you know, because so now they're going to have to work in shifts to do laps. They're going to have to just keep walking in circles, right? And the cops, you know, and if the cops are bribed enough and you know are juiced up enough, are bouted enough, basically, they'll just stand there watching you intently, waiting for anybody to like lean up against a wall or pause for even 5 seconds. Oh, arrest him. Arrest that guy immediately. He stopped moving. Arrest him. That's the kind of intimidation that the unions are under. Okay. And the obvious reason is that the moneyed interests have captured our government. They're starting to, you know, really just have full control over local and national politics, and this is the result. You know, it's only a matter of time, you know, before, because they just they're going to make it so that, you know, you can't actually be touching the sidewalk. You have to somehow figure out how to float above the ground. You know, well, technically we didn't ban marching. We just made it physically impossible to do it. Right? They think they're slick.
They're signing people up and bringing this union, this vast union, 146,000 members together to ready themselves for what looks like it may be coming. We are hearing, as others have, that progress is being made. Both sides are giving some, but right now, given the complexity,
yeah, I don't think these guys are going to bend. Look at the message right here.
It may be.
Our generation's defining moment. I mean, that's a pretty hard statement to fall back on. You know what I mean? To be like, oh, we're gonna roll that back a little bit. I guess maybe it's not our defining moment. I don't know, man. The shirts are pretty definitive. Pay us fairly, or we're shutting this down.
Coming. We are hearing, as others have, that progress is being made. Both sides are giving some, but right now, given the complexity, 3 companies, all these different issues, it's not just the pay, it's benefits, the restoration of pensions that were lost, eliminated for new hires back in the financial crisis, and retiree health care benefits, lots of things like that. So it's complex, and they're still far away, and it looks like this is going to happen, and they're ready.
So, President Biden, you know, he
kind of sucks at this. All right, let's see what is this going to be, a defensive Biden, or I'm kind of curious what these questions are going to be, because you often see the mainstream media basically showing their pro-corporate, anti-union stance with some of these questions. If production is not maintained, good. You know, it sounds like it'd be cheaper to just maybe give these guys what they want then, right? Almost like the labor unions have substantial and real power, and that they should flex it. So, yeah, I would recommend the owners of these companies to capitulate. 40% increase. The biggest CEO made $29 million. Yeah, it was just I think it was just around 30 million, something like that. The Dish Lady, cool name.
He continues to say that he believes there will be a resolution here. So let's add some context to
Joe
that.
Biden
I
said.
mean, how are the workers there in Michigan viewing this and what the president has to say?
Well, the president's a long way away right now. He likes to say he's a union guy, and he has a good track record on that. He is president and is not at this point going to.
He does not have a good track record on it. He's got a couple W's, but he could be doing a whole lot more. But it really does show how, like, the bar is so damn low.
Get involved. You may remember during the railway strike, look, there is a role for the president and the Congress by law when railway workers go on strike, but not auto workers. And so right now, this is about the UAW and the big three automakers. As it goes on, if it does, it could have very significant impacts, obviously, on the Midwestern economy and beyond, on availability and price of cars on the lots, and you can expect to hear the president. One thing Joe Biden has said during his presidency and before is he thinks that
How does this guy get on TV? He's putting me in a coma.
workers have a right to bargain for better conditions and better wages. I don't think he's going to take a side necessarily. That wouldn't be hugely presidential, but I think people know where he's coming from. But right now,
it's very wishy-washy. This is what I'm talking about. No, I mean, there's some real legit criticisms on Joe Biden and his inaction on unions. Okay, that sucked. That was softer than wet dirt. That shit was lame.
This is about.
Took me a minute to get my mind out of the gutter and then think of something else. Okay, I'm trying here.
This is about their lives, their jobs, and what they believe they've lost, Kira. This, people hear.
No, I mean but at the end of the day, this is not an anti-union piece. So I will say that.
The list of demands is right now a 40% wage increase over 4 years. That sounds like a lot. It is. But one of the things the union argues is that that's what the CEOs have given themselves as raises since the last contract. And I think the larger significance of this strike.
So I don't think they think they're going to get 40%. You know what I mean? But I think they're asking for 40% so that they can constantly say it's the CEO. It's the CEO. It's the CEO. So I don't think that they think the negotiators are, I don't think they think they're going to get 40%. But when you're negotiating, that's how it starts, right? You're like, oh yeah, I don't know, I'll give you $10. You mean $100? Oh yeah, okay. I guess we'll go. Okay. You ask for something a little outside of, and then you whittle it down. It's how you negotiate, folks.
Is that for a lot of workers around.
They can afford it. 40% increase. They can afford it. They absolutely could and still turn a profit. I guarantee you that the unions have run those numbers and they could show us, oh yeah, no, the profit margin would take a hit, but it wouldn't ruin the company. The multimillionaires at the top would still make handsome fortunes, right? Yo, Jidox, welcome back. Proposed benefit and retirement package also. Yeah. Look, like I said, I am confident that the UAW has run numbers on their requests, and because that would be the number one thing I'd be worried about. Like, okay, guys, we want to make sure that they can't just turn it around at us and say, look, with simple math, we can show how unreasonable their request is, how it's literally going to ruin the company, right? We don't want that, so we want to make sure that what we're asking for was in the realm of possibility so that we can't be shit on in the media. So I have confidence that the UAW did all that due diligence, and I'd be damn ashamed of myself and them if they hadn't. And if 40% would actually legitimately destroy the company. I'd be damn disappointed if they were out here asking for that, and that was the case.
Around the country in other industries,
because I've never seen a union do that.
UAW has always set the standard, and I think people here, they don't want to go on strike, but they feel this is the moment to reset.
Yeah, Jidox pointing out that higher wages equal higher prices. At the end of the so the problem is always always put on the consumer, right? That's only I'm stammering through this, but that's really only possible because CEOs refuse to take a hit on their compensation. If CEOs were willing to take hits on their own compensation, the lavish, incredibly lavish compensation, because like the people that run these companies, they don't care about these companies. They don't care. All they care about is their own paycheck and, of course, the short-term quarterly growth. And then they're out of there. They hop into another company and run that to the ground. So it's not about making a good product and being a successful company and competing in the marketplace and having a lower price. Well, exactly, Jidox, pointing out that there's no legal mechanism to cap stockholder and CEO profit. Yeah, in fact, there's a law that says if your company is acting illegally, if you are not prioritizing profits, over all else, if you have a board, if you're traded on the market and have a board, you literally need to provide returns to your shareholders is your number one. So like if the company goes to shit, but you still got a really high quarterly return for your shareholders, you did a great job.
Set the balance between workers and management.
The dish lady over here talking about capitalism. Okay, now we're going into should we shift all over to Marxism? We can actually regulate all these problems out of capitalism. And that's the interesting thing about socialism, communism, is that usually when there's a deficiency in capitalism, there's almost always a socialist remedy. And what we need to understand is that we need to continue to hybridize. So instead of completely shifting into a full communist system, we need to understand that certain things work better under socialism and certain things work better under capitalism. I don't want to see what a socialist government produces when it comes to a car. Everyone gets a fucking Corolla? Like literally, everyone would be getting a Corolla. There'd be like a truck, a mid-size, a van maybe. Right? But there'd be like 10 different vehicles that everyone would own. That's how socialism would handle vehicles. And they would all say, "Oh, that's wrong. But no, I mean, a centralized government coming up with automobiles, it would just be the most efficient. It would be very boring, right? Here's an example. Do you get to add any funny flair or personality to your driver's license? You know what I mean? Do you get to add some funny glitter to your tax returns? You know what I mean? So I do think that there are things that capitalism does better. Welcome back, Tisreal.
Gone way out of whack, they believe, over the past few decades, and not just in the auto industry. So those are the stakes, and they're ready. Kira?
Hey, all right.
And we're ready to follow you through the entire journey.
Yeah, okay, thanks. They gotta get some better. They gotta get some better. I'm sorry, people over at ABC, but I don't know, y'all. Y'all flat noodle over there, dude. Y'all a flat noodle over there at ABC. All right, folks. Well, there you go. Once again, this is the union news, but this is the most important stat right here. The American people support unions. Unions work. Okay? Every industry needs to be unionized if at all possible. Okay? Because your labor matters. It's essential to business. You deserve to be compensated fairly. And actually, for your survival right now, because of where inflation's at and where the current state of the oligarchy is at in terms of their unbelievable greed, for your survival, you need to start pushing back. For your actual survival, okay? You need to start pushing back, start understanding the value of your labor, because they're mentally ill. And I need to keep repeating this because they wear a suit and they talk normal. If you sat down and have a conversation, and this is the thing about social media, because we're seeing this with Elon Musk and other fucking weirdos, right? Because when you sit these fucking mentally ill people down and you have a legitimate conversation away from their yes men, you're like, oh shit, these people are actually sick in the head. Elon Musk wants full-blown fascism. He wants full-blown techno-authoritarianism. And it's mentally ill. It's not genius. And it's social media that has given us a view, this peek into the mental illness of the oligarchy. All right, because they're all like this. And, you know, in fact, there is one thing I wanted to show. Some disgusting comments. I'm really shocked and just disappointed in myself for not having this up. But before I go, I do need to show you this because it makes my point. Let me just find it in my Discord here. 1 second. Just enjoy the tunes of slower pace here while I find this. I do need to show you this. It's in here somewhere. Yeah, right here. Okay, look, I can't stress this enough. Okay? They're mentally ill. They think you are literally less. You are literally incapable of doing what they do. So here is Tim Gurner, founder and CEO of the Gurner Group. Fucking sleaze bag, made his money, you know, in the sleaziest ways possible. Look him up. That's all you got to do. Look him up. But listen to what they think. This is what, you know, and this is what I'm saying. Social media and these little, they turn into little micro celebrities. It's the cat's out of the bag. You're letting us know what the plan is, jackass. You're actually supposed to stay subtle about this. That's how you install this fascism. You don't install fascism by saying, ha, 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 hope you like fascism, you poor son of a bitch. Okay? You got to turn up that temperature on that frog real slow. Click, 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 real slow. That's how you win, you fucking jackass. Because like these old ass oligarchs are looking at these new guys like, dude, you're giving away all the secrets. What are you talking about? They stayed nice and quiet, right? For every Rothschild, there was like 100 fucking monarchs with some weird European name you've never heard of, making more money than God. Never heard about it. You never hear about him, right? Pulling all the strings in the background. And here these guys are coming out in the, you know, what's it? Vivek Ramaswamy, right? I can't wait to install an authoritarian fascist government. You're going to love it. And if you don't love it, then you're going to I'm going to force you to love it. That's how I do things. I'm just a businessman. I just get things done. I just do it through fiat. That's how I do everything. You do what I say or you're not going to like it. And I don't give a shit. That's how things get done in America. They're giving away the secret, and here it is.
I think the problem that we've had is that we have people decided that they didn't really want to work so much anymore through COVID, and that has had a massive issue on productivity. You know, tradies have definitely pulled back on productivity. You know, they have been paid a lot to do not too much in the last few years, and we need to see that change. We need to see unemployment rise. Unemployment has to jump 40-50% in my view. We need to see pain in the economy. We need to remind people that they work for the employer, not the other way around. I mean, there's been a systematic change where employees feel the employer is extremely lucky to have them, as opposed to the other way around. So it's a dynamic that has to change. We've got to kill that attitude, and that has to come through hurting the economy, which is what the whole global, you know, the world is trying to do. The governments around the world are trying to increase unemployment to get that to some sort of normality. And we're seeing it. I think every employer now is seeing it. I mean, there is definitely massive layoffs going off. People might not be talking about it, but people are definitely laying people off, and we're starting to see less arrogance in the employment market, and that has to continue because that will cascade across the cost balance.
Do I have to say any more? Do I have to, you know? I mean, that's the whole thing, right? And this is why we're seeing the stuff with Hollywood, with the SAG-AFTRA stuff, right? Because it's like, well, wait a minute. The compensation that these actors are asking for would actually only affect their profit margins by less than 1%. Just a small smidgen. You know, if SAG-AFTRA got everything they wanted, it's not about money. It's about power. It's about control. because they know if they're if the SAG-AFTRA is successful, it's only a matter of time before they realize, well, our labor is actually worth even more, because it is. I am not a nihilist, Ford. Do you see what I'm saying, though? That's why it seems so unreasonable. Like, why don't they just do it and just stop with the nonsense and just get on with business? Give SAG-AFTRA what they want. Take the 0.01% hit in profits and move on with their lives. Why are they going through all this trouble? Because it's about power. So there you go. Trying to keep it tight, end up doing a 45-minute segment. That's the union segment. Thank you so much, YouTube.